Remote kayak fishing trips can go wrong fast. Conditions turn, your body gives out, gear breaks, and suddenly you're in trouble a long way from home. What should be the adventure of a lifetime turns into a case of missed opportunities. Or worse still, you find yourself stranded far from shore. So here are 5 mistakes that will absolutely ruin your trip, and some tips on how best to avoid them. The first mistake that catches a lot of people out is underestimating the physical side of a trip like this. The reality is, the best fishing conditions are often the toughest to deal with. The current rips, the wind blows, and there's almost always a bit of swell around. Great for fishing, not ideal for kayaking. And even when you do get a calm day, you're still putting in long hours. 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours on the water, day after day. You need to arrive fit. It's not something you can build into once you're out there. For me, I'm lucky. I can get on the water regularly back home in Cape Town. We've got some incredible spots to paddle. The scenery's unreal and the fishing's damn good too. It's a pretty epic way to stay fit. This prep work is not about comfort. It's about staying safe and in control. You need to be able to get back to your launch site whatever happens. You can get hairy out there quickly, trust me. One of the secrets to consistently catching trophy fish is having good quality bait and plenty of it. I always catch my own. Not only is it cheaper, but I know exactly how fresh it is. My go-to are chub mackerel, similar to the slimy mackerel in Australia. They're common here in the Cape, they hold up well, and they troll straight. To catch them, I'll anchor up here in our local harbour, chum a bit and use a sabiki rig. Generally a 5-hook setup, which I find is manageable on a kayak. The key is using enough weight so they don't get tangled. If the fish are shallow, you can go light. I'll use a 2 or a 3 ounce sinker or even a small jig. But if they're deeper, you're going to need something much heavier. Once I'm home, I don't just throw the bait straight into the freezer. I lay them out flat and pre-freeze them for a couple of hours, so they stay straight and in good shape. It also dries them out so that I can vacuum pack them properly. I'll put about 6 or 7 mackies in each bag, trying to keep the sizes similar, and then I stack them back in the freezer carefully so they don't get squashed. For a week-long trip, I'll usually plan on using 2 packs a day, so 14 in total. If you run out, it's going to be hard work. As I mentioned before, you're going to be putting long days on the water. The last thing you want to do is get back in the evening, exhausted, and have to start tying traces for the next day. Far better to do that all in advance before you arrive at your destination. For Mozambique, I'll typically prep 4 main types of traces. Wire traces for trolling dead baits, wire traces for drift baits, daisy chains for catching small bonitos for live bait, and then wire traces for fishing those live bonnies. Because I've already caught my dead bait, I can customize the length of most of my traces to match exactly what I'll be using. The only exception is the live bonnie traces, where I'll make up a few different lengths to cover my bases. Once everything's prepped, I pack them into small, sealable bags and label them clearly. This might seem like overkill, but when everything's neatly organized and ready to go, you spend more time fishing and a lot less time messing around. It's amazing how often things fail when kayak fishing, and it's almost always the small stuff that you could have sorted before your trip. Start with your reels, give them a proper service, make sure they have enough braid, and replace the mono top shot. Then check your rods, especially the guides. One small crack or chip and you can lose the fish of a lifetime. Hooks are another one. Replace anything that's rusty and make sure they're sharp. It makes a big difference. And don't forget the kayak itself. Give it a proper once over. Rudder cables, screws, rod leashes, all the bits that can take strain out there. From there, it's just about being organized. Pack your lures, soft plastics, terminal tackle and spare line, so you know where everything is and it's easy to access. This is not the most exciting part of your trip, but it's what stops the small problems turning into big ones when you're out on the water. When you're fishing remote destinations, there's no quick trip to the shop. If something breaks, gets lost or forgotten, you're pretty much stuck. So you need to think ahead and cover yourself. I'll always pack spares of the essentials. Obviously extra rods and reels, but also things like fish finder batteries and chargers, pliers, GPS units, gaffs, paddles, even a basic kayak repair kit and hatch lids. Again, this might seem like overkill, but these are the things that can end a session or even an entire trip if they fail. And out here, gear takes a beating. Things break far more often than you'd expect. So having backups isn't just about convenience. It's about staying safe, staying on the water, and being able to make the most of your opportunity. And a final bonus tip, a few things I never leave behind. Zinc is a must. You're out in the sun all day, every day. Dettol to soak your hands in the evening. Braid guts are a real thing. A meal replacement shake to fuel you up for the long day ahead. And most importantly, a mocha pot and good quality coffee. Because, well, life's just too short to do without. So those are 5 mistakes that I've made and sometimes continue to make. But if you can avoid them, you give yourself a much better shot at success. That fish of a lifetime is out there. This just gives you the best chance of making it happen. If you found this useful, please consider subscribing. There's plenty more to come. Thanks for joining, folks. We'll see you on the next one.